Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Nice to meet you on R7. What Congo is currently experiencing can be described as an economic and financial genocide skillfully planned by the totalitarian regime of Brazzaville, embodied by Denis Sassou Nguesso, returned to power, as you know, by arms and leaving France, and which unfortunately erected theft, systematic corruption, embezzlement of public funds in governance mode, with the sole purpose of making the Congolese suffer the Congo-Brazzaville affair, including the requisition for the purpose of prohibiting ex-situ territories against Stéphanie Gertrude Moyen, former Receiver General, and Armel Silva Dongo, known as Zidane. Former Central Treasurer, now under legal proceedings for embezzlement of public funds, followed by an international arrest warrant against Armel Silva Dongo, alias Azidal, is not the first financial scandal that involves the entire system preceded to the top of the state in Congo-Brazzaville, and will not be the last either. This totalitarian and criminal regime installed in Congo-Brazzaville by France let fly 14,000 billion CFA francs from the Guarantee Fund for Future Generations without anyone being worried or questioned.
Where
Go the agent of future generations.
Indeed, it's for future generations, and it should be reserved for them. Mr. Speaker, there is a reserve today, but that's not the project's purpose. Reserve for future generations, yes.
So Gilbert had said in the two budget surplus stabilization accounts and the reserve account for future generations, but the central bank, I only give you the code. If you go online, it's public, right? The central bank account is not hidden, there is no money there. On the contrary, Congo owes the money, and at the moment in imbalance, it does not happen because they are in red at the central bank.
So where did it go?
9 billion pensioners were stolen from the census, 160 billion from the Ministry of Health. You heard from the Ministry of Health.
160 billion francs CF, to an astronomical sum allocated to the Ministry of Health and diverted between 2020 and 2022. The figure comes from a report by the ONG published What You Pay Congo.
6 billion has been stolen for nearly a decade from student scholarships.
A biometric census of students enrolled in public universities in Brazzaville found that the state should disburse only 3 billion CFA francs per year. Instead of 9 billion required for the payment of scholarships, is it believable that 6 billion CFA francs are dissipated each year without ever leaving a trace?
137 billion imaginary road.
You've got it.
Create one.
Road concession minister?
5,500 billion, I repeat, 5,500 billion CFA francs hidden in tax havens by these digitals. Of this regime, of this power of Brazzaville embodied by Denis Sassou Nguesso, notably Jean-Jacques Ebouya, Denis, Christelle Sassou Nguesso, Rodolphe Dada, Gilbert, Mondoro Lucien and Bata Richard Bruno and you.
Congolese individuals have a colossal fortune. Individuals, not the state, a colossal fortune.
Des individus, pas l'État. Une fortune colossale.
That the Fourth Associated Congolese SQ put together cannot even have 1,000.
More than $9 billion, I mean 9 billion also hidden in Chinese banks. Should I remind you that there is also 1,000 billion blocked in a private bank account of young Johan, whose son Maxime. Gandhi in Switzerland, 1,000 billion of Congolese taxpayers' money. The money from Congolese oil blocked in a private account of Maxime's son. We were winning the appeal. Johan Gandhi is in Switzerland. The list is not exhaustive.
Why treasure? There is nothing. There is no investigation at the treasury. You've been to the treasury before. I'm talking to you. I had a strong room built that not even a rocket can pierce. And there but go open this room for. There is nothing. There is not even one. But I'm launching an appeal today that the Congolese ask that we search the homes of politicians. There you will be surprised. You will be surprised. Billions, hundreds of billions that are at home. But when they are afraid, the Congolese risk going out into the streets. What are we doing? We are going to take out a little of this money and pay the salaries. I matter, so I know. When we make the Maya route from 10 houses to Maya Maria, which were supposed to cost 6 billion, we declare 15 billion, but 15 and minus 6, how much 9 billion is left? But who took the $9 billion? That is, as I said, we built trust for 400 billion French people. Well, you are sure it didn't even cost 100 billion, but where did the 315 billion go? Who learned that? He's in jail. There is a Congolese who bought a building in Dubai worth 75 billion French. But frankly, between us, where is what he saw the 75 billion French people and?
Well, they will continue to steal, plunder, and embezzle public money. People will continue to suffer and pay a heavy price. Misery and suffering will only get worse. The Congolese people will continue to die of poverty. And like flies, you certainly know that he plundered with his face uncovered, draped in the fabric of legitimacy. He leaves the coffers of the state not to build schools, hospitals, roads, in short, to realize structuring projects for the well-being of the Congolese, but rather to build private empires when we sell oil money.
Does not return to the Congo, it does not return to the operation account, but it goes where it is not placed in the name of the state. In an international financial center. But placing in the name of individual 60 Congolese in Panama, but this is very serious. That's why they see us and we have to bring him to Congolese television. Huh? Congo TV? Explain to us a little how you put the money outside, the 14 trillion. You said it should serve the Congolese. So explain to us in newspapers, be insightful. And while the background was described, well, we make false debts. We are in the process of over-indebting the Congo.
When you demand justice and they realize that there are small social movements, they throw dry bread at you for a few crumbs of money. Generally, it is small bills of 500 CFA francs or 2,000 CFA francs and promises. Cruz, what about the youth here with the creation of 100,000 jobs, food self-sufficiency, health for all, education for all, creation of 80,000 jobs, water for all? They're going to keep it up. All these promises have been made to you, but on the ground, do you know anything about them? It is therefore worth remembering that it is a moment when patience becomes weakness, silence becomes complicity, submission becomes betrayal. Yes, Congolese people, your passion, your resignation, your silence and your eternal submission are a betrayal against yourself and against the homeland. Because at some point, protesting is no longer enough. After philosophy, write Victor Hugo, action is necessary. Congolese people, you alone are responsible for your existence and your future. When rulers betray popular trust, loot public finances while the people suffer, anger is the last refuge. Corruption, theft, misappropriation of public data is not mistakes or incompetence, because obviously we often hear people say they are incompetent. No, it has nothing to do with incompetence or mistakes. This is a betrayal. High treason and its deliberate acts, two deliberate ways. And so, In the face of this betrayal, the people have only one language to speak, that of revolt. It is up to the Congolese to choose or find the form of revolt that is appropriate to put a complete end to this dictatorship of Brazzaville embodied by Denis Sassou Nguesso. When the people are suffering, they become sovereign writers. Victor Hugo, thank you for following us. We will see you very soon.
Très prochainement.